Hello, everyone. Welcome to the webinar. My name is Laurel Donnellan, and I am the CEO and founder of Compassionate Leaders Circle. I'm very honored that you are with me tonight, and I'm excited to share our program with you all. If you want to communicate to me during the webinar, please do that through chat. If you have questions or if you want to participate as we go, that's one way we can all communicate to one another. So let's see. Let me share my PowerPoint. And here we go. So our topic today is Pivot with Purpose, make 2020 your best career yet. As the founder of Compassionate Leaders Circle, I've had the pleasure of helping people find and follow their soul work and make career transitions for the last 22 years. In our program today, we're going to talk about our company and what we do. We're going to share some stats around why work is meaningful, why meaningful work matters, address your pivot with purpose type and give you some suggestions for how to use that in career transitions, allow you to make a plan, and also be sharing with you information about our program that's coming up next Tuesday, starting on February 18th. We're launching a Pivot with Purpose Career Accelerator. I'm going to share our method for career change and teach you about our program and also share with you some of the results from our program. And then at the end, you can learn about how to sign up for our course. Along the way, please post and chat your questions, and then I'll get to them at the end. So here we go. Our company is about a year old. I've been doing this work for over 22 years, but we launched a new brand and with a new vision about a year ago, and we're proud that we see a compassionate world where we are all valued and celebrated for our humanity, dreams, differences, and ingenuity. In this program today and in the program we're starting next week, we focus on what we call careers from the inside out. So talking to you about your purpose, and helping you find and follow that purpose in the world of work. These are the 3 curriculum tracks that we offer as a company. The first one is the Career Accelerator, which we're going to focus on today. We also have a track for compassionate leadership, and we have another track for compassionate coaching. So we teach professionals how to coach with courage and lead with love. This program that we're talking about today is about developing your career from the inside out. These are the definitions that we use when we talk about purpose. I think about purpose as the fuel in a car. So the metaphor is if the vision is the destination and you are the vehicle where you get to your vision, purpose is the fuel that will propel you to that new vision. Another way to look at purpose is what is your deeper why? And we really delve deeply into that when we work with people over time. And simply, purpose can also be the reason for which you're doing something. These are some of the companies that we've worked with. We work with individuals and bigger brands. In our first year of this new iteration, we've had the honor of working with several business schools, including Cornell University and Denver University. All of our programs blend curriculum, coaching, and contemplative practices, so I thought I would share a contemplative practice with you right now. I know some of you are driving, some of you are listening to this the next day, and you may be at work, so you may not be able to participate, but if you are somewhere where you feel comfortable, I'd like you to just close your eyes. Focus on your breath. Try not to change your breath, but focus on the breath and breathing in and breathing out. Try to let go of everything that happened earlier today and everything that's going to happen later. And if you can, breathe in the idea of purpose, of your deeper why and your connection to your vision. Some of you may know what your vision is. Some of you might be exploring what your vision is. No matter, breathe in the idea of purpose and breathe everything else out. And if you can, without forcing it, just imagine yourself taking that idea of purpose and transforming it into a color and allowing it to land in your heart. Letting that idea of purpose, that color, move through your body, move out into the universe, move into your heart. And then when you're ready, you can just come back to the room. So one of the things that we do in all of our programs is try to help people slow down and do that through contemplative practice. So that was one example of a contemplative practice. We also use art and artistic pursuits, being in nature, all sorts of things that can be contemplative. So why is purpose and meaningful work important? This is some great research that came out recently. Raises and promotions are more common for employees who have meaningful work. So if you're connected with your head and your heart, you're more apt to succeed and be productive. Employees who play a higher value on meaningful work occupy more senior skilled positions and stay longer. And purposeful work leads to increased levels of commitment, empowerment, satisfaction, and a sense of fulfillment. I've also recently interviewed a couple of people that do research on purpose. One of them was the CEO of Vitamix, Jody Berg, and she has found that having a purpose in your company is great, but if people have a purpose, a personal purpose outside of work, that also contributes to life satisfaction and an ability to succeed at work. And there is some new research out of a group at the London School of Economics that is proving that having a calling, having a connection to work will also increase your income. So let's explore more this idea of calling or soul work. I call it soul work, and I define soul work as the absolute best use of your passions and purpose. I believe everyone can have a calling or soul work. You don't have to be an artist or a priest or a clergy to have a calling. Bridge work I define as the work that you need to do sometimes in order to get to soul work. So for instance, if your soul work is to be a doctor, bridge work might include, you know, making money as a researcher and going to medical school. That would be an example of that. So both bridge work and soul work is where we want to get our clients to, and that's under the umbrella of remarkable work. What we want to help you avoid is unremarkable work. So unremarkable work is work that is not economically and or emotionally sustainable. I think of it as draining. It can be something that is really hard to go to work. So Monday's probably bad for you if you're doing unremarkable work. And we've, you know, in our process, in the last 22 years, we've helped people move underneath the umbrella and have a combination of bridge work and soul work. So unremarkable work is not emotionally or economically sustainable, and or remarkable work is sustainable. And the different types of remarkable work include bridge work and soul work. Soul work being what we want to help people get to, which is the absolute best use of their passions and purpose. So if you can, I'd like you to sort of ponder this for a minute and think about where you are on this umbrella. Are you doing unremarkable work? Are you doing bridge work? Or are you doing soul work? And we're going to have another little check-in. When we work with people, no matter what the program, we help people with a holistic approach to life and work. At the center of this is purpose and vision. So purpose being the fuel that guides you to your vision, vision being what you want in the future, and that can be personal and or professional or both. We understand that without health and wellness, it's hard to find and follow a calling or be a great leader or be a great coach. So health and wellness is an important part of what we address. Career and business and money is also a part of what we address whenever we do a program or coaching. Influence and leadership. We work with the paradigm that everyone is a leader. We feel that the idea of the world being broken into leaders and followers is no longer applicable. Everyone has access to information and impact, and whether that's in your family, in your community, at work, no matter what your position. So influence and leadership is something that we address with folks, and love and relationships is also an important area. So all of our programs address all of these things. If you have a pencil and paper in front of you, I'd like you to just spend a minute rating yourself on these things. So purpose and vision. Purpose is how connected you are to how meaningful things are for you, and vision being what is your clear picture for the future for life and work. So rate yourself, 1 being low, 10 being high, how that area of your life is going right now. You might just do it in your head if you're driving. Then let's go to health and wellness. How are you doing with health and wellness? 1 being the lowest, 10 being the highest. Let's move over to career and business, and that includes finances, 1 being the lowest, 10 being the highest. Influence and leadership, 1 being the lowest, 10 being the highest. And that can be leading your, neighbors or your children. It doesn't have to be a division of a big company. And then lastly, love and relationships. How are you doing there? 1 being the lowest, 10 being the highest. So that gives you a quick look at your life and work, and you may discover some strengths and opportunities there. We give you another little quiz. Part of our approach to career change over the last 22 years is pivot types. And those are something that I've developed just last year, knowing that the world of work has changed and it's become very dynamic. And a lot of my clients and class participants we're really struggling with focus. So out of all of our experience, we came up with 7 pivot types so that we can help you focus. I'm going to go over them, and I'm going to say this, like you're probably going to want to choose more than one, but for just today, for this exercise, I'd like you to choose the one that sounds most like you. So here we go. The first one is learner. So you need to change, but you don't have a clear vision for what's next. And I would say that after I go through all 7, if you still aren't sure, I would default to learner. Liker is someone who likes their job, but they really want to love it. So sometimes that requires resculpting the job or falling back in love with the work that you're doing in some new way. Leapers are people who want to change jobs or companies or already in a job search. You might, change to another division or another boss, or you might be looking for a new career track, but you're already knowing that you need to leap. Lancers are people that want to start or grow a freelance business or career. Launchers are people who want to start or grow division, business, or organizations. So if you're an entrepreneur and you want to start a new business, or you own a business and you want to grow it, you would fall here. If you're someone who really knows that your next chapter is going to be your own thing, that's where you would fall, launcher. Leavers are people who want to focus on their legacy. So that might include succession planning, mentoring, retirement, volunteering, etc. So you're really focusing on leaving your legacy. And last is our linkers, or sometimes they're referred to as slash people. Those are people who are committed to a vision for what is next, which includes integrating 2 or more of the above types. So you might be really clear that you want to take on more than one role, which is different than a learner who's not really clear about what they want to do. So spend a minute thinking about where you fall. Are you a learner, liker, leaper, lancer, launcher, leaver, linker? As you can tell, I like alliterations. So let's go on to the next slide. The next slide is about your strategy. And this is going to help you create a plan that we're going to get to pretty soon here. So there's a strategy that goes with each pivot type. Learners, the best thing you can do is focus on identifying and developing your passions. Really, what do you like? What do you like at work? What do you like when you're reading? What do you like when you're having fun? What, you know, it might be thinking about a passion that you want to revisit from when you were younger. It might be learning new ones, but you want to focus on identifying and developing passions. Likers are focusing on developing your role based on your strengths and maybe adding a meaningful project. I was just talking to a client today who is a leader and has been running a company for a long time, and realized that to fall back in love with her work, she needed to do something creative. So she's creating apps that can help her business, and she's very excited about that. Leapers focus on generating a long list of possibilities. The more options you have, the more powerful you can choose. So whether it's finding a job within your organization, or looking at outside of your organization, or looking at part-time, full-time, maybe you want to look at virtual work. There's lots of possibilities, and the best you could do is generate as many as possible so you can choose powerfully. Lancers need to focus on creating or honing a pitch for how they get customers. Maybe you want to focus on your LinkedIn profile, or your business card, or your tagline, but figuring out how you communicate what you do and how you do it is important for Lancers, and it's something that you can never do too often. Launchers, if you're growing or starting a business, you probably want to focus on identifying the best people to partner with. You can't do everything yourself anymore as a launcher. I know that personally. Went from working with just myself to quite a big crew now, and that's been an interesting journey. Leavers want to focus on developing their purpose, and you may want to develop a formal purpose statement for what's important to you and how you want to impact the world. And linkers, if you have more than one role, you want to focus on developing a reasonable plan that allows time to develop each role properly. So planning your time, addressing how you're going to, take on more than one project or more than one identity. So those are some ideas for strategy. So think about your type and what your strategy is. Learners are going to focus on passions. Likers can focus on a project. Leapers can focus on possibilities. Lancers should focus on their pitch. Launchers should focus on the people they want to be around. Leavers focusing on purpose, and linkers focusing on the plan and time management. Kind of a quick introduction to pivot types, which is part of our approach to helping people pivot with purpose. So based on whatever you heard, you've experienced so far today around the idea of purpose, the idea of pivot types, the idea of soul work versus bridge work, and remarkable work versus unremarkable work. I'd like you to think about 3 things that you can do in the next 7 days to help you move closer to purposeful work. And that might include, meeting with your spouse to talk about options for your family. It might include meeting with your boss for how to sculpt your job. It might include networking with other people. It might include, going out into nature and thinking more about what your purpose is. Might include doing something artistic. So just think about 3 attainable baby steps that you can take in the next 7 days to help you find and follow soul work. And then if you can, write them down. And if you can't, just remember what they are, at least one thing. I'm going to move now into our program that starts on February 18th. There's 2 options for taking this class. You can do it live, which makes it a little more dynamic, but you can also do it at your own pace if that schedule doesn't work for you. So it's at this time, 7 p.m. Eastern, for 8 weeks starting next week. Our lead facilitator, I will be guest teaching, but our lead facilitator is my wonderful colleague, Kelly Dwyer. She's been working with me for 15 years. She is a MBA, she's a yoga teacher, she's an amazing executive and well-being and career coach. She was a founder of a business. She's been involved in venture funded companies. And she absolutely loves teaching, and she's really great at it, and she's a great coach. So you have great guidance from her. The outcomes for the program are very personalized, so you can, as part of the process, you will develop your own specific goals that we will support you in. But everyone will get new options and a clear vision for their future, and also a formal purpose statement for all areas in your life. A supercharged soul search, job search, or business plan, a project related to your soul work that you present to the other people in the class at the end, so that, for example, if you want to start a business, you might, do your logo or get your website up or something that is attainable for you. You're going to get into action with clarity and confidence, and you're going to have a lot of resources and support from us. This is data that we took from, we did 3 of these programs last year, and we also do a lot of one-to-one clients, and we also did this program with the University of Denver. So this is some of the data that we came back from our participants last year. That's pretty impressive. We do pre and post assessments, and the ability to have a career vision, develop a career plan, and feel productive about their career change. Each one of these areas was over 100% improvement. So very proud of that, and we expect the same results from this class coming up, if not better. All of our programs include curriculum, coaching, and contemplative practices. This is a model that I've created as a foundation for this program. You get a workbook, and you get exercises in each one of these areas. So first we explore your past, and you'll get an opportunity to reflect on when you've been courageous, what is meaningful to you, all your history of work and education and what you've learned from that, so that you can bring the things that are working into the future and leave the things that aren't working behind. And your mindset, that's a big piece of your ability to be confident and clear about what you want to accomplish. So that's the past. The present includes your health and wellness and how you're taking care of yourself and your stress levels. So that's important. Your relationships on and off the job, and how to balance those things and how to grow those things in a really sustainable and healthy way. your ideas and your habits around money. And then authenticity is really the core of what we do, is dig into helping you find and develop your passions so that you can transform those passions into meaningful work. The last part of the process in the class is about being your best in the future. So we explore, help you generate and explore all sorts of creative opportunities for yourself, and explore those and research those. Develop a purpose statement for each one of your hats that can include work and life and parenting and all art and all the athlete, all the things that you want to be and want to do in the future. Develop a clear vision for how you want to express yourself at work long term, and then a very specific and time-bound commitment plan for doing the work. So it takes it from something that is a dream and makes it real. So all of that will be covered in the class. This is the results of what we call our career reality check that is based on that model that I just showed you. And the movement was about 29% before and after in people's ability to embrace those principles and practices. So we're very proud of that as well. More details. We have this class starting next week, launching at 7 o'clock. And it's 8 hour-and-a-half sessions. Includes a one-to-one session with Kelly so that you'll get personal help from her. We have a specialized curriculum and workbook that we'll send you. We have special guests coming, including me. Private LinkedIn group for coaching and expert advice, so you'll be able to get to know your fellow participants, whether they're attending live or at their own pace. And the sessions are always recorded, so if you have a family or work obligation that you can't miss, you can make it up. And the price is $11.97 with 3 payments of $4.47. You can register at our website, CompassionateLeaderCircle.com. We have the link here that we'll share with you in a follow-up email tomorrow. If you're interested in some one-to-one coaching or want to explore this further, or maybe some of you are here because you're interested in bringing our services to your organization, you can set up a 30-minute consult with either Kelly or I. We'd love to meet you that way. And this is Kelly's contact information. So I'm going to send that deck to you. Stop sharing. And I'm going to take questions. So any of you have any questions, please, the best way to do that is through the chat. If you hover over the bottom of your screen, you can chat with me, and maybe you don't, maybe some of you are driving, so I don't want you to do that. But if you have any questions, I'll be here for a couple more minutes, and if not, we'll send you the deck and the recording of this session probably early tomorrow. We'd love to have you in class. If that is feeling like the right thing to do, we'd love to have you in class. And if not, if there are no questions, we'll end our session a bit early today, because I'm sure you'd love to get back to your families. So I thank you for being here. Thank you for your interest in what we do, and I'll talk to you soon. Be well. Bye-bye.